What's up, guys? This is Nathaniel Harris from Scoop and Score, the channel bringing you videos on the past and present sports news and events. Today, I'm back with another video, and our topic is off the field troubles. Whether it be criminal activity or off-season leisure, we have seen some ridiculous headlines come about recently. Today, I'm going to take a look at some of these stories, discuss them in depth, and explain how they are affecting everyone involved. So, let's jump right into it. The biggest off-the-field trouble lately has to be the Deshaun Watson scandal. This is a fairly new scandal, so the facts are still coming in, but there's so much to unpack here already. Watson is a top 5 quarterback in the league as of 2020, but we are starting to see that he's not that smart. In September, Watson signed a contract extension that will keep him with the Texans through the 2025 season. Near the end of the 2020 season, Watson realized that he wanted to explore his options and play elsewhere. The big problem here is that Watson just signed a contract for him to stay in Houston, and it has a no-trade clause. So this puts Houston and Watson at a tough spot where Watson wants to leave, but Houston does not benefit at all from releasing him. Fast forward to January 2021, the Houston Texans publicly come forward and say that they have no plans of trading Deshaun Watson. This statement created a deadlock where Watson wants to leave, but the Texans aren't going to let him. So after a couple months with no progress, it seemed as though Watson would just have to finish out his contract with the Texans. But in March 2021, accusations of sexual misconduct and coercive behavior fell upon Watson. So far, 22 women have come out against Deshaun Watson, claiming that the incidents have happened between March 2020 and March 2021. This was extremely disheartening news to hear, especially since until the news broke, Watson had been a class act. I pride myself on being a man that is for women's rights. So, no matter the case, I usually believe the victims first. But after doing some digging, this situation seems to be different. 22 women have come forward so far against Deshaun Watson. All 22 women are being represented by the same lawyer. This lawyer just so happens to be really good friends with the Texans owner. This could be pure coincidence, and I could be thinking way too much here, but something doesn't seem right. First, Watson threatens to never suit up again, and then all of a sudden, all these allegations come out. Now, if these allegations make it all the way to court, Watson can see his reputation be ruined, effectively seeing him getting released from the Texans, and also not being able to play for anyone else. This would be the most extreme case of, if I can't have you, nobody can, that I have ever seen. As wild as a theory as that is, I could be thinking way too much, and Watson could just not be the man we thought he was. There are a lot of players that can't stay out of trouble off the field, and Deshaun Watson could just be one of them. While I personally hope that this isn't the case, if it is, Watson has a long road ahead of him. Chad Wheeler is yet another player who has been in trouble this offseason. So much trouble that he's already been cut by his team. Now, if you're like me, you've probably never heard of Chad Wheeler before this incident, so let me introduce him. Wheeler was an undrafted free agent in 2017, and he ended up signing with the New York Giants. He played with 2 seasons for the Giants and was eventually let go. Fortunately, he was signed to the Seahawks practice squad 8 months later. By the end of the 2020 NFL's regular season, Wheeler had started 2 games for the Seahawks and had made the active roster, which is a big improvement than being on the practice squad. So, in total, Wheeler has only played in 32 games and has only started 19. Wheeler might not have had the best NFL career, but it seemed like things were looking up. During the 2020 playoffs is when things started to take a turn for Wheeler. In January 2021, Wheeler's girlfriend, Aaliyah Taylor, went into a police station in Washington State and filed a report of abuse. Taylor has detailed the events in the police report and in an interview she's done with Jerrica Duncan on CBS Good Morning. Taylor says that Wheeler had a manic episode on January 22nd that ended with her being severely beaten. She claims that she was strangled, thrown around, and even left unconscious twice. This has led to Wheeler being charged with first-degree domestic violence, unlawful imprisonment, and resisting arrest. Immediately after the report surfaced, the Seahawks condemned the actions and released Wheeler. As I said earlier, I pride myself on supporting women's rights, so without much research, I side with the victim. Domestic violence is a touchy subject, but it needs to be talked about so that other victims know that they are not alone and that there is help out there for them. Wheeler has been to court and has pleaded not guilty to the charges, despite tweeting and somewhat confessing to the crimes. He has been released on bond and is now awaiting trial. Historically, NFL players struggle to stay out of trouble during the offseason, with players getting arrested, failing drug tests, and violating league policies. There just always seems to be someone in trouble for something. In the cases of Deshaun Watson and Chad Wheeler, women have come forward and have accused them of sexual assault and domestic abuse, respectively. Neither of these acts are acceptable, and if they are found guilty, I hope that they get the punishment that they deserve. As for the victims, I hope that they get the help that they need so that they can go out and live normal lives again. These off-the-field troubles not only have implications on the players, but also on the teams and the fans. No team wants their star quarterback to have these type of allegations on them. Being a part of a team means that when you get into trouble, not only do you tarnish your reputation, but the team's as well. As fans, it is definitely disheartening to see your favorite player suffering from off-the-field troubles. No fan wants to have to stop liking a player because they cut their own career short by staying in trouble off the field. All in all, athlete or not, your actions have consequences, and it's in your best interest to think before you do things. This is Nathaniel Harris for Scoop and Score, signing off.